Hi, my name's Caitlin. I am the owner of Wild Honey Media and I'm a hobbyist photographer living here in Newcastle. I wanted to create a short informative video that looks at the photography industry here in Australia, essentially what it means to be a photographer, what it is we actually do, and to take a little glance at the future outlook for the profession. Depending on who you ask, you'll probably get a different answer to this question. So, in a nutshell, a photographer uses technical and creative skills to develop high-quality images and videos to record an event, capture emotions, and to tell a story. Photography really is the perfect combination of science and art, learning to master the technical elements of a camera and having a keen eye for detail, vision, and inspiration. Photography requires a lot of equipment as well during the pre- and post-production stages. You've got film and digital cameras, lenses depending on the conditions or types of photography you intend to shoot. There's lighting equipment, backdrops and props, tripods, and reflectors to name a few. For post-processing, we use software to edit, compose, and share images with clients, upload to websites, social media, and plenty of SD cards and trusty computers to keep up with it all. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes to prepare for shoots, market and promote your work, manage finances, stay on top of trends, and to work with clients. Some photographers work in studios, some on location for themselves, or for businesses to create media content for websites and advertising. In most cases, having a qualification or a certificate isn't essential. So I'm a self-taught photographer. I've always had an eye for photography. I picked up a camera when I was young and I just started shooting, essentially learning as I went and not really knowing exactly what all the numbers and dials meant on the camera. Because of this, I wanted to better my skills and the quality of images that I created. So I went and did photography classes at uni and also through a local photography business here in Newcastle. The courses and training can help to refine your skill set, teach you about business such as current trends, tax, insurance, and networking. And the extra skills may help you to attract more clients and employers, show how committed you are over competitors to increase your future salary as well. So unlike a professional photographer who would probably dedicate full-time hours a week to their profession, I classify myself as a hobbyist photographer. So most shoots that I do are purely for personal enjoyment or experience, and the money that I do happen to make is generally just pocket money. Photography consists of quite a range of genres, from wedding and portrait, commercial, landscape, food and wildlife, just as some examples. And photographers' earnings depend a lot on where they live and operate, as well as what niche they decide to shoot and their skill set. So entry-level photographers that have been operating less than 2 years or are just starting out can earn around $40,000 a year. Mid-level photographers operating between 2 and 5 years can earn around $55,000. And experienced photographers, or seasoned professionals as they're also known, who have been in the industry for 5 or more years can earn between $70,000 and $100,000. So they usually have a specific niche, a strong client base, reputation and portfolio. But like all photography levels, they can earn more money if operating within a high demand niche and depending on their location. Due to its competitive nature, it can be hard to make a stable income as a photographer. A lot of effort goes into building a name for yourself and a solid client base. Work can be inconsistent, physically demanding, working long hours and traveling long distances, standing for long periods of time, carrying heavy equipment, weeks of editing, and relying on good weather too. When you consider working another job with photography on the side, that can also lead to burnout. So creative burnout is an issue that affects many creatives, not just photographers, and it can be hard to bounce back and find your passion when you're uninspired or you feel the need for change. Operating in or around major cities can significantly increase photographers' earnings, Due to an increase in population size and a greater absorption of commerce and events, it provides more client opportunities, which can lead to more pay. However, due to more people in these areas, you'll encounter higher competition between other photographers, especially if you operate in a popular niche, such as wedding and events. Rural areas usually have significantly smaller population, which can create less available work. However, smaller communities may rely more on word of mouth or be more willing to hire locals. Even if earnings are potentially lower, your work is often in higher demand, so less competition, and many photographers find themselves operating across various niches to accommodate this. Disruptive platforms such as Airtasker have popped up due to the enhancement of technology and the internet. They're often described as web or mobile-based apps that make it easier to access goods and services based on your specific need. So think Uber to taxis or Airbnb to hotels. They make transactions simpler and tend to offer competitive rates. The founder and CEO of Airtasker, Tim Fung, believes that platforms such as his aren't a threat to photographers at all. He says it won't take away from photographers' revenue, but will instead fill the gaps of niche markets that aren't currently serviced largely or at all by current professionals. So moments like birthday or small milestones that larger photography businesses don't service are opened up to people like myself who operate across various niches and don't mind picking up smaller paying jobs. With the technology boom bringing us fancier cameras, it also delivered us better phones. Now, anybody with a camera phone can claim to be a photographer, but is that really the case? Smartphones now have the ability to shoot photos in RAW format as well as JPEG, which only digital cameras used to be able to. You can shoot with manual settings, allowing you to adjust the ISO, which is the light sensitivity or brightness of a photo, and the shutter, which is the amount of light that's let in or the speed the photo is taken. You can access hundreds of photo editing apps on your phone, including Adobe now, to fix and Photoshop your images before you even post them. But despite all of these advancements, they still don't quite compare to the customizable options offered by digital cameras, which contain better storage options with your SD cards, white balance, stabilization, and lens options too. So I think it's safe to say that it'll be quite some time before we see professional photographers whipping out their phones to shoot events, or your Uncle Jack with his brand new iPhone shooting your upcoming wedding. So due to technological advancements, photographers now have so many ways that they can actually market, including social media, websites, blogs, or paid advertising to reach a wider audience on other platforms. Word of mouth is still the number one avenue for how to market, followed closely by Instagram. So particularly photographers in the fashion and beauty industry, they still prefer Instagram over word of mouth. Business-to-business photographers utilize LinkedIn to market their business and showcase their products to attract other businesses to collaborate with. However, business-to-consumer photographers like myself are much less likely to do so, relying more on word of mouth and social media. Photographers are embracing AI technology, so only about 11% see AI as a threat, whereas more than 50% have already incorporated it into their business. Around 50% of photographers still choose to use traditional DSLR cameras, but 41% have already moved on to newer advancements such as mirrorless technology. So no surprise really as well, but the top 5 specialty areas at the moment in Australia are portrait, landscape, weddings, sports, and family photography. So this year, about 19% of photographers thought their business was busier than expected, around 27% said it was the same, and 39% said business was slower than expected, which is a lot better than last year, considering that about 64% said their business was a lot slower than expected. Photography has evolved a long way from its days of dark rooms to the current digital technology that we're familiar with now. including AI, which has made itself into many professions. Though controversial, with many stating that AI takes away from the creative process, others believe it actually improves their efficiency and expands creative possibilities. Surveyed photographers are currently split down the middle, with 46% saying they don't use it at all, and around 50% stating that they use it all the time or sometimes. So I guess the current outlook for the future of photography is still quite strong. Many professionals are embracing technological advancements and already incorporating them into their practice, so including mirrorless technology, AI, and even incorporating phones in some instances. They're also bouncing back from COVID and beginning to make more profit again. There will always be heavy competition within the industry though, but with it being so broad and adaptable, I don't think there's any real threat to photographers in the near future.